Hi everyone, welcome to a card tutorial with me at Paper Crafting with Paul. You may have seen this card on Facebook with me. I've already shared in Nitwit's Neighbourhood and also in my Facebook group, Paper Crafting with Paul. If you haven't joined those groups, I'll add some links below so you can look for extra inspiration. Or just type in Nitwit Neighbourhood and Paper Crafting with Paul into Facebook search, they'll pop up. So I made this with the Couture collection, which came out recently, and it's a triple stand-up card. So I've made a stand-up card before already. So what this is now is a triple one, because I've finally figured out how to add another one onto the front, but still have it nice and tall, but fit into a 5x7 envelope. So it's really nice to show off the different backing papers. And the way it fits into the 5x7 envelope is it pushes up and then comes down. Because if you carried on, that's what I was struggling with before. But then I realised, hang on, if you just bring it down, it'll fit into your 5x7 envelope. So an easy one to make, not too tricky, and definitely adaptable to any papers you may have on any collection. So I'm going to be using Sunflower Cottage today because it's been on sale lately with some new knickknacks. So it's been at my forefront of my mind. So let's get our trimmer. I'm going to start off by cutting 3 different sheets from our black cardstock. Of course, it can be any colour you want. So the first one I want to cut is 5x7. So this is my card base. Just 5x7. And then from the other piece of card, I'm going to cut it at 5 inches. So I've got my short end along the top. So 5x9. So that's going to be our middle section. And then I've measured it, worked it out to get the most of it because I've got 3¼ inches less. I think in America you've got 8½ across, so you'd be able to do it 3½ if you wanted to. But for us Brits, it's already 3¼ and this time I'm going to cut it by 10. Okay. So I can set my trimmer aside. I think I do need a new blade. And it's time to bring in the scoreboard. And I've got to say, I've recently got my hands on the Cool Cats Teflon pencil. Now I had one before, which had the narrow end, and they brought out a broad one, which I thought, well, that's not going to make much difference, but it really does. This is perfect with my scoreboard. So that's what that is. So if you haven't seen it, it's the broad Teflon pencil by Cool Cats. Fantastic if you've got a scoreboard. Right, the 5x7 one, we don't need to do anything. That's just our base. The middle one, the 9-inch one, 9 inches across the top, we're going to score at 5. So our centre one is actually a 5x5 square, which I like squares. So 5, and then we're just going to do every inch for 5, 6, 7, and 8. I said this was going to be an easy one. There we go. And with a 10-inch one, we've got the 10-inch across the top. We can start at 6, and every inch 7, 8, 9. So that is as complicated as the measurements get. And even the 1/4 inch cut one wasn't complicated because it was already done just by cutting off that 5-inch. Okay, so base, center, front. with our score lines, we're going to fold each of them backwards. Now we don't need to score and burnish them really well because they need to be 90-degree ones. Okay, so they're not flat scores. So you can just take your burnish tool and just lightly press. You don't need to squeeze really hard. So you can get nice, just like that. And then on the last one, we're going to add our tape. Okay. So what'll happen now is this all going to roll up and that bit is going to stick there. So the same on this one. We're going to fold them all back, add some tape to the bottom one, so we could just burnish, burnish, and burnish. So I'm going to take the tape off and I'm just going to tuck that taped one inside there and press. So we've created the stand-up just like we did in my previous stand-up card tutorial. And again with this one, we're just going to tuck it in there, line it up and press it down. So we've got those two now, sort of a D shape. So when I put them down, we're going to put some tape on here. But we're not going to stick them together yet. So what we're going to do is decorate them first. I have forgotten to bring my long scissors, so it might take me a while. So the first panel I'm making is going to go onto the 5x7. So what I've done is just gone just a little bit smaller on this panel. But to save paper, because we're not going to see much of this other than up across the top and down, I've not bothered to make this the full height of my card, and you'll see why in a second. So this is, I know it's 4 3/4 wide, so I've just gone 1/4 inch less. And because I'm losing an inch on the bottom, that would make it 6 inches. So my paper is now 5 3/4 inches. Okay, now I've used a digital kit. I know some people are scared of them, but this, you can make this using a digital paper. As if you just printed off a sheet of the yellow and a sheet of the white one. You would just cut the yellow one at 4 3/4 by 5 3/4, stick it down, and then the white one 1/4 inch less again, so 4 1/2 by 5 1/2, and you would just have 2 layers. I've just digitally layered them just because it saves me a little bit of paper and a bit less printing and things. Plus it makes it easy to recreate this card because I can just double click and change the papers over to something else. So this is then the front panel, which I'll come to later. So with this one, I've got my yellow from the solids pad and the white And then this is from the Little Bits, which is a pre-made topper, which I've just put straight on top. So I haven't had to do layering, but I think I did add an extra butterfly to this. And you'll see why later on. And then, as I said, I've got a square. So this square is 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. Again, I've layered them digitally. You could just put your yellow paper down and then another paper on top. And I'll show you why I chose this particular paper when I come to decorate. Because I think this one worked perfectly for this card. Because this one here, the white one with the yellow corners, is actually all one piece. I just added the 2 buttons. It's one of the 12 by 12 or backing papers. And it's got the corner elements already in it. So when you look at the card, you're going to see the corner elements coming down there. Right, so that's that one. And then this one was 6 inches tall. So this is 5 3/4 inches by 3 inches. So I'm just using some black soot distress ink just to hide any white bits I might have missed when I was cutting. So that's going to go there. So now you're going to see why I haven't attached them yet. So first thing we're going to do is attach the middle piece to our base page. So I've taken the tape off. I'm going to fold it down so my tape is on the bottom. And I'm just going to line it up so the bottom corner is lining up with both sides. I know black on black isn't the easiest to see. So now I know where to place this. As I said, you could use any papers. Here you can mat and layer, decorate as much as you want. So I'm just going to lift this up and with a little black border, stick that down. I did just have a panic and I'd stuck it upside down with the wording. And now I need to stick this on before I put my front on. So reason being for covering this one fully is that this one isn't as wide. By here, the middle one and the back one are the same width. This one's narrower, which meant I needed to put that down first. So I'm going to place that up. Oh, actually, I'm not. I'm going to bring it down. I'm just going to do it by eye. I'm lining up the bottom. As so. And then attaching my front. And that is your card base done. And then it's just in case you can embellish it now as much as you want, or if you're happy enough, leave it as it is. But because it's digital, I've been able to copy and paste those 2 butterflies. So you can see here, that's the butterfly come from that topper. The green one I've added as an extra. And the joy of being digital is the antennae is printed on my base layer. So when I come to do these wings, I don't need to cut around those antennae. And because I've done copy and paste with the images, they are exactly the same size as well. Well, as long as you don't go back and change one of them afterwards. So now I've been able to get an extra butterfly. Again, let me just get rid of those white edges. So if I just fold the wings up, I just need to put some glue on the back of the body. Glue them down. And you can see now I've got a 3D butterfly. The antennae was already printed on, so I didn't need to worry about them, which, I gotta be honest, is one of the reasons I never used to use my butterflies, was because I just didn't have the patience to fussy cut antennae. But digital means I no longer need to. I can still get that 3D fluttering look, but without too much bother. Last little bit. And again, just taking that black soot, just hides a multitude of my sins with my cutting. And glue on the body. Let's glue it down. And once that's dry, then I'll just lift up the wings and give them some dimension. And so there we go, my triple stand-up cards. I think you'll agree, not too tricky, but very effective. Great that they can fit into 5x7 envelopes. So even with the 3D-ness, they'll fall flat. And then just standing up on the mantelpiece. Ooh, that one's just, but they do stand up, trust me, as you've seen. So there we go, my triple stand-up. I cannot wait to see your versions of these. Once you've made one, please take a photograph of it and share with me in the Facebook group Paper Crafting with Paul, which you'll find a link to in the description below, and a description to the Nitwit shop and their Facebook group too. So I hope you enjoyed. Please leave me a comment and let me know what you think of these two. Do you prefer the reds? Do you prefer the sunflowers? Or what you're going to be making with them as well. So thank you for watching. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, help my channel, and I'll see you all again soon.